So, things are coming full circle again. Comedy now is back to a place where jokes are becoming funnier than crowd work.
Uh-huh.
Or so comedians thought. The complaint being, hey, I wrote this joke, right? So it must be funny because I worked harder on it.
Right.
That's not how it works.
Unfortunately.
And when you live in a place where you don't ever talk to your audience and your audience opinions don't matter, you guys become the subject matter experts behind closed doors, deciding what works best amongst each other, and forgetting what the broader audience actually wants to see.
Okay.
That's why we're superior. This is just crowd work 100% of the time. Non-stop crowd work, non-stop feedback. It could never go wrong.
Because you know what joke I never work on, but is hilarious?
That is not
every time.
What I meant.
And I didn't put any work into it.
Okay, what's the joke? That's not what I meant.
I told this joke at work the other day, by the way. And for those of you who haven't heard it, and for those of you who have heard it but would like to hear it again because it's funny. Everyone can tell me where the Big Apple is, but nobody can tell me where the mini apple is.
Oh my God, bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
I've never been proven wrong so thoroughly in my life. And I think in the moment, if you're able to realize it, it kind of elevates you. So I'm trying to be elevated. I was wrong. And crowd work is busted. And that's it. ChavezzSlovakia. This is my wife.
Hello.
I am Chavez. This is Casual Geographic. And it's a video about what? The gang wars of whales. Let's do it, gang gang. Or what whales would say.
Shut up.
Yeah.
I would pass the fuck out.
The ocean is the world's oldest.
Did you like that?
I would pass the fuck out.
Did you like that?
Oh my God.
Dude, that's so fucking cool.
Oh my God.
Man. Wow.
I would, no.
And look, good thing they have that little string there to keep that board connected to them, where they can't leave or escape if something was to go wrong.
I would pass out and then they would play with my dead body.
They would bury it in the sea like a fridge. Save it for later.
There's not really enough of me to eat. I think they just use me more as a toy.
They use the sea floor as a fridge.
Right, I'm saying they would just use me as a toy. They wouldn't bother eating me.
The ocean is the world's oldest.
What does the shirt say? I can't read it.
Something about nostalgia.
Something about abolitionists or something? I don't know.
Hood, so makes sense that the gang wars of the animals in it are titanic.
oldest
There's
hood.
Avengers levels of conflict happening under the waves, and in the center of it all is Sea Thanos. The Orca's range is everywhere.
Thanos.
Its diet is everything.
Which
Their
I
breeding
didn't know.
season is a
By the way, mind you, I didn't know that orcas went everywhere. I thought they were strictly in cold places. So I was like super far up north,
Right.
super far down south, anything in between. I'm good. I'm safe. Why was I in Miami? Okay? I was in Miami and they were like, yeah, sometimes we see orcas over here. What the fuck are you talking about?
It's like you weren't wrong, except you were also half right. So that's good.
What do you mean?
Because, they're in cold places, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And also, yes, every other place, yeah.
I thought I was safe. I wasn't.
Because they feel like it. That's why they're there.
Their breeding season is a day that ends in Y. They hunt whenever and no one ever hunts them. Orcinus orca is really that guy. It's an apex evolutionary attack dolphin, known to give great white sharks PTSD, and scare the literal, no figurative feces out of the biggest predator alive. We'll get to that. The cetaceous sea panda is an intellectual vibe check with a street
Such
name.
a funny video.
Killer whale, a name they got after...
They just torture that little thing on the little piece of ice that it's on.
I know,
They
it's
just
so
hunt
sad.
it, they splash water on it, make a little game of it. You guys are brutal, man.
Killer whale, a name they got after ancient whalers watched what a barcoded armada could do to a barnacle bus stop. With the size, intelligence, and power of friendship, the whale killer might just be nature's favorite, and there's virtually nothing on the ocean census that can't get orked. But all that dominance has a cost. Like an ocean kingpin, orcas have made a lot of enemies, and there's at least 2 that'll bully them back.
Hell yeah.
It all comes back to the often forgotten rule of nature. A predator has to be convinced you're worth the effort, but prey will turn you into past tense before you go offense. The world of whale beef is messy with alliances, rivalries, and straight mob mentality. Because for every orca, there's a pack of pilot whales. This is what orcas see in their nightmares, allegedly. Let's talk about it. Every dolphin is a whale, but not every whale is a dolphin.
Remember that.
Right.
Pilot whales are a very big dolphin. They're the second biggest dolphin, only beat by the ocean equalizer. Pilot whales look like off-brand belugas, and that's pretty close to their personality. Pilot whales have been called the Ferraris of the sea, being clocked at over 30 miles per hour while hunting, and they'll use this speed to run up on pods of orcas. That, and the fact that pilots can roll in pods that get to over 100, is why killer whales may have a healthy amount of fear in a deep fake dolphin. Scientists in Iceland have seen orcas go from socializing to dead silent to suddenly synchronizing a retreat before a group of pilot whales pulled up. In some cases, the orcas were literally run out by the pilots, with both parties porpoising during the chase. And we know for a fact, pilot whales actively look for problems, since scientists
Wait, porpoising's a real word?
It's a verb.
Wait, I could use the word porpoising?
Yes.
I'm gonna do that in traffic.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. That's the thing. When you go up and down in the water, we should learn how to porpoise.
Okay.
On porpoise instead of on accident like we normally do.
Since scientists in Norway played the sounds of orcas feeding, and that got their boat confronted by the pilot
I'm
pack.
crying.
It's even escalated
That's
to
so sad.
pilot whales imitating the calls of killer whales. And considering killer whales in different areas can have different dialects, pilot whales learn to lampoon the exact kind of orca
That's
in their
right.
neighborhood.
Yeah.
Some say it's a form of ocean incognito, where they use sound to camouflage. But there's a world where pilots got so sick of the gimmicks they learned the language just to talk that cetacean shit. But it's
Right, I
not
wanna
one-sided,
talk that
as orcas will
talk.
pack up and prey on pilot whales. There's also been more than one case of a group of orcas traveling with an orphan baby pilot whale, adopting it either as progeny or a practice dummy. My theory is that the trauma of losing a baby drives a mother orca to do the next best thing. Kidnap an infant pilot whale and try to brute force parenthood.
That's
It's a conflict that
something.
still has a lot of questions.
Yeah.
And this story might just have another chapter. Because what are the odds the orca's two biggest enemies are friends? Humpbacks prove you can always be a bigger hater. And there's no bigger hater than the one that interferes with orca hunts, even when the target isn't another humpback. In 5 decades of studying humpback orca
That's
spats,
such a
and
cool
only
beef,
11% of them did the killer whales actually go after them. The other 89 involved orcas plotting on a completely different animal and the humpbacks getting involved to play
Hell
defense. In fact, in over 100 encounters, the humpbacks approached the orcas 37% of
This
the
is
time.
like
What's up?
this is like an image from like just straight from my. It's like he went into my brain to pick this out.
Is this really what it looks like for you? I know it's not. You know how? Because there's not enough red. Not enough bodies. There'll be more dead people.
They don't bleed.
And they would also have legs so they could walk on land.
I've never had a dream about whales walking on land. Like ever.
Then how do they get us? I live in a house
Uh-huh.
with stairs.
Uh-huh.
It would be defeated by my doorknob. It doesn't have opposable thumbs.
Right.
It can't turn the little latchy thingy.
Until the oceans rise because of global warming.
I can give him the keys. He still can't get in.
Until the oceans rise because of global warming.
My windows have those little latches you have to like pull up and like push up from the outside with flat palms. It's not happening.
And the orcas
This
were
is
the
the definition
instigators,
of pulling up,
26%,
by the way.
meaning
Some of y'all have beef with people, right? You've pulled up 0% of the time.
Yep.
Humpbacks have got 37%.
In the words of Rico Nasty, these hoes swear that they can't stand me, but ain't never pulling up. Ever.
You know what? I was nervous when you said Rico Nasty, but the quote is solid.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. I was really nervous.
Why?
Well, because Rico Nasty is,
What?
just lyrically, it's not always quotable.
What? You don't like, he just want to eat me like some candy, but I'm not his buttercup?
Imagine me rapping that.
That's the line directly before the, these hoes swear that they can't stand me, but
Really?
they never pull up.
Really? Okay. How does the song go? Damn it, I've never heard it.
Hold on. She's like pizzeria. I'm hot like
Oh, is that the Tina Tamera song?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the one about titties. That's a funny song. That is
I don't
a
know.
funny song.
I'll figure it out later.
Meaning, when scientists could tell who wanted smoke, 58% of the time, the humpback mafia started
Let's do it.
Why? Well, maybe ask
Why
the
not?
pilot whales. Pilot whales and humpbacks have been seen socializing off Hawaii.
Hell yeah.
With humpbacks
My
even
homies.
seeming to pet the pilots with their fins. They've even been caught communicating with each other. Two completely different species. And it's not an accident.
know anything
About
about
200
this thing.
instances of whales and dolphins interacting were recorded across 19 different species.
Damn.
And what was found was that not only were a third of all humpback encounters classified as positive, with the whales seeming to seek out the dolphins, humpbacks were way more dolphin tolerant than others, like the blue, fin, and northern white whales. And let's not just slide past the interspecies communication. That is wild,
Yeah,
and who knows
that is
what they're
crazy.
saying. They could be plotting the most devious hit on an orca.
Right.
There's no Rosetta Stone for that. Of course, that's a joke.
Yet.
One, because I don't believe they have their version of a white pointy robe pep rally to plot against an apex predator. But also two, humpbacks aren't exactly immune to the habits of a pilot whale. According to the Latin American Journal of Aquatic Mammals, pilot whales often rage bait humpbacks, with short-fin pilot whales seen antagonizing the humpback variety off Puerto Rico,
What?
harassment that the whales were visibly stressed by. One sighting saw a gang of pilots approach a pod of humpback whales, with the humpbacks reacting by trumpeting and tail slapping. Basically a cetacean crash out.
Right.
One theory says the pilot whale is a kleptoparasite, whose meal prep involves harassing a humpback into stress regurgitating its last meal,
Yeah.
so the pilot can swoop in for the
Right.
steal. Mind you, humpbacks in Puerto Rico probably haven't eaten since they were in the Arctic, so it's like picking a fight with a Muslim dead in the middle of Ramadan.
Damn.
In the Mona Passage off Puerto Rico, a bunch of pilot whales pulled up to harass a humpback pod, until the humpbacks dove underwater and resurfaced a distance away, until the pilots peeped them and went over to choose conflict again. This cycle continued like a game until the humpbacks eventually left the area, and chances are a game is exactly what was happening. Some genuinely believe that pilot whales mess with other whales for fun,
They were just
not for
hanging
food,
out.
simply love of the game. They're just being dicks. And humpbacks are the whales that tolerate them, but what they don't accept is anything orca. In 2012,
Oh,
a
yeah.
pod of orcas murked a gray whale calf, but the plot twist was the 14 humpbacks that rushed in to back up the two already on scene. And what scientists saw was the humpbacks gatekeeping the killer whales, with one even putting himself next to the past tense calf and wailing out anytime an orca got close. For 6.5 hours, the humpback hood calorie blocked the orcas, even ignoring an enticing swarm of nearby krill to remain to float on business.
Like
You
that,
see,
fuck you
orcas
for
don't go
real.
after humpbacks often, but when they do, it's usually targeting a calf with its mother, which usually involves separating them and reverse baptizing the baby.
Yeah.
The thing is, adult humpbacks are much less fearful of a monochrome mammal and are triggered by the sounds of an orca hunt and will come swimming, especially since any young humpback in the area are likely a relative of their own. So they're on on sound with orcas, even if the target ends up being a Pacific placemat. Because the lesson every humpback learns is, no orca alive shall prosper. And that's on pod. Mind you,
And
not
that's
all
on
killer
pod.
whales are whale killers. Only about 10 to 15% of them are mammal-eating killer whales, meaning humpbacks might just be profiling. They see color, two in particular. But if humpbacks could see everything killer
They
whales
see both black and white, and that's it. I don't even see the blue separating us, son. It's just me and you out here.
Ain't no 50 Shades of Grey out here.
There's nowhere to run. It's just a bunch of water. What would be? What would the guy be like? It's just all that's me, you. All that's out here is me, you, air, and opportunity. And I just took all the air. What would be the whale equivalent of that?
What is that?
It'd be me, you, bubbles, and opportunity, and then he bubbles a bunch of bubbles in the air.
What are you even talking about?
I just blew all the bubbles.
All right.
Now it's just me and you to fight this out.
Okay.
No more bubbles.
Right.
Well, because they're in the ocean and they blow bubbles.
Mm-hmm.
Just me, you,
You don't
krill.
have
An
to
opportunity.
repeat it. It's okay.
I just sucked up all the krill. Me, you, and some algae.
All right.
You're nothing but a barnacle on the bottom of a boat.
How many more versions?
My prejudice knows no ends.
do, they probably let them slide a lot more. Humpbacks have more than a zebra to stress about. In 2017 in Mossel Bay, South Africa, scientists watched an injured whale get jumped by 8 great white sharks.
8?
It's not often, but great whites will pack up the young, sick, or injured, especially during migration. It's rare, but the chances aren't zero.
Damn.
Unless an orca's around. That wasn't a joke earlier. Orcas legitimately give jaws PTSD, and it's scientifically proven that great whites will abandon even favorite hunting grounds for up to a year if they even
Up
sense
to
a
a
giant oppression
year?
dolphin once. In fact, the
Damn.
number of great whites has flatlined in many places off South Africa, like False Bay, so low that it's legitimately affecting tourism. And one of the biggest non-human reasons might be orcas.
Right.
2 in particular. Since 2015, port and starboard have been raining hell on the whites, with many late great shark carcasses washing ashore with missing liver.
They're not even eating the whole thing.
No, they just want the good part.
My love.
Yeah.
They're eating their livers like comethazine. Oh my.
Let it chop out, eat it. I came with a 38. I'll leave it with a body.
A 16-foot female named Khaleesi.
Damn.
These two orcas in arms have terrorized sharks of any species. In 2023, the duo life-deprived nearly 27 gill sharks in one day. And Starboard might be the biggest menace. Fun fact, Starboard is the first orca ever recorded murking a great white shark by himself after eviscerating one in less than 2 minutes completely solo.
Wow.
Port and Starboard are named after how they tend to split the sharks they kill, left and right. That's not true, it's based on their fins. But for about a decade, these two have been violating sharks without remorse. Recourse as a final course to force soul divorce, not to beat a dead horse. But killer whales ironically do humpbacks a solid. As a South African rest stop...
I'm so sorry. It's got that thing like a hamburger. It's like a hot dog, but sideways. Looks like a lettuce wrap. Looks like he's saying, that's specifically my liver.
Not to beat a dead horse, but killer whales ironically do humpbacks a solid, as the South African rest stop of their migration now has way less sharks. But we've known that sharks tend to get their cookies taken by orcas, but great whites can also get sent packing by their own prey. It's well known that a sea lion to a shark is basically a chew toy, with one fur seal having no chance against a 16-foot, 2,000+ pound bioweapon. But this movie has an alternate ending, with gangs of fur seals mobbing hunting sharks. Imagine getting chased out of a drive-thru by a horde of homicidal hot dogs. That's just sharks' reality. It's the same mob mentality humpbacks use on orcas, and fur seals will press a great white into retreating back to sea. This weaponized friendship has been clocked all the way back to 2005, with a group of adult male Australian fur seals jumping a great white shark that wandered too close to the colony's pups. But orcas might have just lit a fuse under the fur seals. The decline of great whites in places like False Bay may have honestly boosted the confidence of the seals. Not only do they now act way bolder, studies showed that the stress hormone levels of fur seals in False Bay went down as the shark numbers did.
Hey, we chilling out here, and somehow it's making me more aggressive. I'm relaxed. Let's fight about it.
They might take the seal out the sea and leave it with an L, but they might have also emboldened the fur seals against their biggest op. And few realize how horrific a family of fur seals open carrying confidence can be. Although they likely didn't need much, because apparently seals can't get along with each other. In many places, elephant and fur seals cross paths, and they do not get along. They're both pinnipeds, but technically fur seals aren't true seals. They're actually closer to sea lions. Elephant seals see all that and choose to be the world's biggest bigots about it, since some have a bad habit of using baby fur seals as chew toys. Buffle is a 14-foot migrant that annually shows up on Cape Town beaches, where he has a yearly tradition of using young false seals as stress balls for his mouth.
I was like, he's about to tell me some shit that's gonna make me not like this nigga.
That is so jacked up. Just a big old goofy face. Yeah, I like to eat your kids and then play basketball with them. That's just my fun thing. I also don't mind doing taxes. That's not a bad thing for me either. Then I'll talk about the baby murder. We can get back to that whenever you're ready.
Elephant seal was caught grabbing a pup, making a disturbingly literal baby shower before swallowing it whole. Clearly, fur seals have way more to worry about than just sharks. But
Did I mention it's all completely optional? I don't have to do that.
You see how he's on land?
Yeah, I do see that he's on land.
Before swallowing it whole. Clearly, fur seals have way more to worry.
But he's on the land. He's on the beach.
How much farther up do you think he could go?
I'm just saying.
You see how his plan was thwarted with just the smallest amount of sand. I could dominate that amount of sand several times. When I went on vacation, I ran on the beach for fun.
What if he's already bitten off of one of your legs?
What if he's bitten off more than he can chew, then hasn't he? That's right. That's right.
But sharks might not have a bigger enemy than dolphins. Dolphins don't exactly bully sharks. A study done in Shark Bay, Australia found that 74% of bottlenose dolphins were found with at least one scar from a shark attack. And more than a third of those in Sarasota Bay have had a chunk or two taken out of them. So the catch is, while dolphins are a small part of a shark's diet, almost every dolphin will have at least one bad memory of a shark. The dolphin default is actually to avoid sharks, so not exactly like pilot whales to orcas, but they will gang up on them when they have the advantage.
In a straight
Usually
line, too.
it's
Look
just
at
for
battle lines.
intimidation, but sometimes it involves dolphins ramming sharks in the
Damn.
gills so they choke on their own blood.
Damn.
So basically, sharks prey on dolphins and leave dolphins preying, with
Right.
dolphins usually social distancing from them. But dolphins will also mob sharks, and in a lot of studies, dolphins were the ones initiating harassment, like in the form of using a baby shark as a volleyball. But it also helps that
What?
they have an alliance with another member of the cetacean persuasion, one that sends sharks swimming. Or at least it would if it wasn't a false killer whale. That is called a false killer whale,
Oh, yeah,
which
we've seen
sucks
those.
because it's way more than an imitation orca. Not to be confused with the pilot whale, because where the pilot whale looks like a black rough draft beluga, the not an orca looks like a free willy paralysis demon.
Right.
On the surface, that is Satan's favorite cetacean creation, slender whale body built. They have no business looking like the black air force of orcas, and those eyes, good God, those eyes. Those are the eyes of
got
an ocean
people
chain
eyes.
chomp that shouldn't be trusted. And that's why you don't judge a whale by its mugshot. False killer whales will often form relationships with other dolphins, especially bottlenoses. These
Look,
bonds
go
can
back.
last years. And form relationships.
Look how he looking. Why he looking like that? Why he side-eyeing the
Man,
camera like
I'm
that?
trying real hard to fit in. If you could just not blow my spot up, I'd really appreciate that. I'm trying real hard to fit in, dude.
Relationships with other dolphins, especially bottlenoses.
Like he's stuck
These
in the
bonds
family
can last
photo.
years
Right.
and cover hundreds of ocean miles, especially in New Zealand, where falsies will actively seek out dolphins, not just to hunt together, but to play too. And scientists swear that individuals can recognize each other even after years of separation. In fact, false killer whales and dolphins will often merge pods to form a giant super pod,
As
up
they
to
should.
1,000 strong. It goes deeper, with stories of falsies responding to the distress calls of other species, and even aiding other dolphins during childbirth. As
Aw.
close as you think pseudo-orcas and bottlenoses are, they're closer.
I just feel like that's nefarious for some reason. I don't know why I just can't shake it. It's definitely the way that they look, but it's just so suspicious. Like, are you having a baby? You won't want me to come by? I'm already outside. I could just maybe hold the umbilical cord a little. Like, who the fuck is this guy? Where did he come from? Like, we did not invite him.
Close? Well, when a male falsie and a female bottleface get close enough, the outcome is called a wolfin. It's also not just dolphins. Anyone who dives enough will confirm that false killer whales are one of the friendliest things you can run
They be
into in
fucking.
the ocean.
Right.
There's even stories of them offering fish to strangers. But of course, the world of whale politics is messy, and falsies don't have goodwill with everyone. They're
Okay.
also liable to get T-boned by an orca, who sometimes show them what a real killer looks like. And if you think that'd make them a friend to humpback whales, falsies have also been known to harass humpback whales,
God
with
damn
one
it.
case in Hawaii where
Okay.
a group murked one. But there's another animal they find conflict with, and you'd probably never guess it. Because
Octopus.
respectfully, as the biggest predator on the planet, sperm whales have no business getting
Oh.
bullied by anyone.
Wow.
Yet you can find reports
How are you doing during this video anyways? I have not checked on you, but every time I look over, you are glaring. And you don't look like you're having fun. And I'm trying to jokey joke and have a good time, and you're just like, I'm forcing a laugh because I don't seem like I'm having a good time.
I am having a good time. This
Look
is
at the
just very
screen.
distressing.
Grant, look at the screen. Why do you make that face every time you
I'm
look
not
at it?
making a face.
You're looking at it like that falsie was looking, like you're smiling, but you're not smiling.
killer whales running up on sperm whales the same way pilots do to orcas.
Right.
Even back in the 90s, scientists somehow witnessed a group of sperm whales in the Galapagos get ambushed by a gang of 25 falsies, joined by, interestingly, 15 bottlenose dolphins.
Bullies!
I told you they were tight, but it was likely a bluff that didn't accomplish any real damage. Which isn't always the case. There is one animal with the audacity to hunt modern-day Leviathan, but at this point it should be no surprise. Orcas are ocean Stan Lee. They pop up everywhere. They usually avoid each other, but a party of plus-size predators working as a wolf pack will target the young, sick, or isolated.
That's right.
But orcas predictably can get bold about it. Back in 1997, 35 killer whales attacked a pod of 9 sperm whales,
35?
resulting in a 4-hour onslaught that left every sperm whale injured and one dead.
Damn.
20 years later, a pod of 8 killer whales ran
Yeah.
up on a group of 100 sperm
That's
whales
right.
off Sri Lanka. That's not a typo. Nobody died, but the audacity was nearly fatal. Especially since sperm whales, for whatever reason, don't really fight back. Their main defense is to get into a formation called a rosette, with the weak put in the middle. There's that, and serving a poop slushy at orcas, since
Okay.
real-life mobies will also use a cloud of diarrhea as offensive self-defense.
Okay, so this is the new shit slurry because
Oh my god.
I didn't see this coming. It is whales and hippos. that shit slurry. One's for fighting, the other one's for bathing. Funny enough. Huh.
Bath bomb is sometimes enough to save their lives, but it also means orcas have
so much shit. It's actually an incredible amount of feces. This is a Call of Duty smoke bomb amount of feces. What's that one from like World at War or whatever, and the whole map was all cloudy? It was just cow shit. Sea cow shit.
But it also means orcas have the ocean's biggest predators soiling themselves by the metric ton. But it seems there's one predator orcas won't hunt, and it's the most successful and most destructive one of it's us. You know it's us.
Yeah.
Outside of a glorified fishbowl, orcas have never been known to kill a human, or at least never been caught doing it. In fact, not too long ago, there was a time where humans hunted alongside orcas, with the two working together in New South Wales, Australia. Basically, the orcas would herd the whales to shore and then alert the whalers with a tail slap, and the law of tongue meant the orcas were entitled to the lips and tongue of anything they helped you kill.
I did not think that was real. I heard that several years ago, but I thought that was completely fake. Yeah. I had no idea that was real.
That sounds like fake news.
Yeah.
Today, a wild orca is less likely to feed on you than just feed you. For as long as we've known them, humans have been on the orca whitelist, and that might just be changing. You see, orcas are intelligent enough to have different cultures and trends. Like one orca wore a salmon as a hat, and within a week had the whole pod doing it.
Right,
and a recent orca trend involves sinking yachts.
Hell
It
yeah.
started in 2020, with the pod ramming and eventually downing a 50-foot yacht off Gibraltar. Since then, there have been over 700, again not a typo, I checked, of these attacks, and most of the real damage was to the ship's rudders. Mind you, some of these attacks lasted over 2 hours, so it's really looking like Humpback levels of hating. Also, while researching, I realized there's more than one case of killer whales failing a hunt, only to then target the boat of the researchers watching it happen out of spite. So what are the orcas cooking? I have my theories. One is that orcas are treating hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of vessels as toys, and all it would take is one orca messing with a boat for fun and telling his homies for a new trend to hit humanity. Or it could be revenge. All that would take is one orca having a bad experience with a boat for the whole family to slide, fueled by generational rage. Especially if it happened to a grandmother, because you know the moment she brought it to the pod, it'd be up for everyone. In fact, chances are, they teach this same behavior to their young. There's a lot we still don't know about the ocean, and all the nonsense that happens in it. But one thing I'll say every time I speak on anything Dolphin is that animals aren't good. Animals aren't evil.
Right.
They're just animals.
Right.
Animals just trying to make it to the next day any way they can.
Yep.
It's not Orca's fault, they're just that much better at it. Simply a skill issue for everyone else. I'm gonna keep saying it as long as there's people on Twitter saying I want them dead. So probably forever. But until then, drink water, hug your mother. If you see an orca, apologize. Doesn't matter what for, just do it. Support the whales, call your father, and I'm gonna see y'all in the next one.
You got it. Are you feeling like they're gonna die? Because they're not. They feel like how you feel about it. They did not trust it at all. Those kids did not trust that. Yeah, so I finally saw my first Casual Geographic hate video. It took years. I had never found one. And the person's like studying to be like a Marine What's-It or whatever.
Right.
And they have like a series debunking their vids. And they, I guess, did a YouTube series and they're like posting one on TikTok, just like reposting it. But they're not like super active or anything. The comments were just like super spammy, like, oh, just follow it on YouTube or whatever.
Yeah.
So can't tell if it's real. Just trying to be like a claim to fame through drama. But I had never even seen it.
Yeah, I've never seen Casual Geographic hate.
Yeah, never seen it. It's
weird.
A little bit, actually.
It's weird.
Yeah, a little bit. But we'll see you guys in the next one. This is my wife.
Hello.
She gets stressed out during underwater videos. Any funny screenshots of her face, you can send to me.
Great
I
today.
will love to see them, and I will laugh.
I did fantastic today. I didn't scream one time.
Good for you. And that's good. We don't always want you to scream bloody murder, but we would like it sometimes. So maybe next time, step it up a little bit, lady. We see y'all in the next one. Peace.